Hell, we live in hell. Hello everyone. How we're doing? Hope we're having a good Tuesday, Yu-Gi-Oh Tuesday. Hell, oh, it's 5 years of Vampire Ian as a VTuber. To be clear, my streaming anniversary was in March. We didn't really do a huge celebration for it, but. Because I like to just put it in all in 1 month. Birthday, VTuber anniversary. But this is the 5 years of the VTuber Vampire Ian. When I first started streaming, I didn't actually have a VTuber model. I was just doing like a Snapcube thing where I was streaming without a model, just like kind of just a disembodied voice. God, 5 years. Fucked up, TBH. Hi. Hi, Yura. Hi, Ali. Hi, Ferret Lord. Hi, Kai. I saw you earlier. Used to be common. Used to be. It's, no longer the meta, as they say. 5 whole years. It's fucked, dude. It's fucked. Ugh. Blah. Blah. I can't believe it's been this long. And what I have to show for it? A bunch of lovely people who watch my stuff fucked up. We're gonna be watching Yu-Gi-Oh today. We're watching 5 episodes because it's 5 years. We're actually watching 5 episodes because otherwise we're gonna have an awkward cutoff point for the Gate Guardian episodes, because we go from a 2-parter into a 3-parter. I figured it would be better to just take that last part of the 3-parter and put it into here. That's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and start doing it. Hats off. Hats off for Yu-Gi-Oh! By the way, I have a new setup. I've got a 3rd monitor that's not plugged in yet. But that does mean I had to rearrange my microphone. I'd probably be there too if I didn't hard burn out once I started working with an agency, so props for you on you for this. You know what? I think that's one of my biggest things is I didn't join an agency, so I didn't get destroyed. I actively avoided every agency like a plague. So I think that was an advantage I had on my side. But yeah, because I have this new setup, if the VTuber looks a little weird because I'm looking in a different direction than normal, or if the audio is weird, that's why. It's because I got a new setup. You know, if you're gonna have a giant island that everyone's competing on, you really should have a constricting sphere. The stop defense, if I remember correctly, stop defense is like a continuous spell that forces everything into what? Zombies with 0 attack points won't revive. But what? Why though? Also, they're in the grave. They don't have 0 attack points now. By the way, don't put your gun so close to the person you're trying to threaten. It's a really bad idea to get that close. Guns are ranged weapons. I can't with this card. What the fuck is this art? What the fuck is this card art? They just ripped this straight from the manga. They're on the same space. How did they... Okay, I'll allow that. What the fuck? I know it's the original soundtrack the anime was envisioned with, but at the same time, I'm such a slut for the early 2000s electro. Okay, it was the slut part. Oh, monster. I just noticed that in the show, they made it a fusion monster. How did he summon it then? You see the pic of some troop doing the Prince of Egypt musical, and the actor has a... Yes, but he's playing the monster version of Flame Swordsman, the main deck monster. His isn't purple. Back in just a second for the finale of the Gate Guardian episodes. See you in a sec.
Buried within the uncharted depths of waters surrounding a group of islands off the 50th parallel lies man's most formidable challenge. The awesome awakening of prehistoric monsters long thought extinct. Giant against giant. The ultimate battle. Godzilla versus Megalon. Science was baffled and powerless. A terror-stricken humanity knew that it was on the brink of total destruction. A once proud civilization now had to place its trust and hope in Godzilla. Now came the moment of truth. The ultimate battle. Giant against giant in a duel to the death. You'll see it all in Godzilla versus Megalon.
Okay, we're back. My secondary computer is apparently on the fritz, which is annoying. But that doesn't mean the stream stops, so let's get that last episode going. Because it flies, it can't go in the labyrinth, ignoring the fact that it has legs. We're done with Yu-Gi-Oh! For today. We're going to go watch some YouTube. It's a really important video, though. We're actually going to go there right now because we don't need to do an ad break right now. So let's go real quick. Okay, my whole soundboard is disconnected, it looks like. Had to fix that up. All right, but I'll go there manually. All right, we have a very important video to watch. Let's go. Okay, Bill says, thank you for dropping by. I hope to see you next time. Why did they make this? I love it. I don't know why they made this, but I love it. Very important video. Violating the playset rule. That is true. There's a lot of Melfi Rabby on this field. Oh. If you play Melfi staring contest in paper, you're legally obligated to play this entire video before resuming the duel. True. I do love that the Melfi stare comes in. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to Batchu's Library, the place where I put all the Yu-Gi-Oh reacts and other things, hopefully. All right, I don't have any other things to watch. I don't know if there's anything that we should be watching for, like, I looked at Farfa, there wasn't anything there. This is what it looks like inside Zeus's cockpit. True. So because I don't really have anything to watch and react to, what if we did a little bit of Genesis format? Just a little bit of Genesis format? Bum ba dum bum 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 ba da na 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 na. Okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! Mega! Okay. Did you already do... so, the thing about React videos now is they take a lot more time because I have an editor doing them, and they have their own schedule. We are behind, like, 3 React videos. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about it. So I've got of course, my speed right. Where'd that? Oh, let me just do this without saving. All right, so we got my Speedroid Radiant Typhoon thing. I've got this Gem Knight branded list that was from a tournament. Well, no, the footage is already recorded, Kai. That's what it is. The footage is already recorded. I'm just waiting for the edit to happen. And there is this. This deck sucks, by the way. This deck is terrible. I tried something. I was like, oh, let's try Genesis Magnet Warrior GMX. Something, right? There's like synergies. It just takes up the whole fucking deck, though. It takes up the entire fucking deck. I will make GMX good someday. I will make GMX good someday. Hopefully, second wave. Second wave is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. They have to make it good. They have to. Killing yourself turbo. It used to be worse. I don't think because I don't know. This is basically the max amount of GMX cards you're allowed to play. Like, I could put 2 more copies of Noma in here, but this is the intended game plan of GMX. Like, I could put more dinosaurs in here, but that wouldn't help. The problem is the GMX cards. Like, here's what it looks like. How's that volume? Is that too loud? Looked like it was way too loud. Let's turn that shit down. Whee! There we go. Well, this is mostly just a magnet hand. This is really just a magnet hand. There's really not any, there's really not any GMX in here at all. Okay, here we go. So you go Kimridge, grab Applied Experiment. Applied Experiment. I'm going to turn that down even more. It still seems kind of loud. See, only 2,400 damage. Only 2,400 damage. It's just that both of these decks take up so much engine space, and the Magnet Warrior stuff is kind of just better on its own. I could remove the Imperium Magnum stuff, which is probably optimal, but I like the Imperium Magnum stuff. It's funny. All right, let's play a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Gotta fucking log in on Discord. Has to use your Discord account for some fucking reason. Dude, I have to be in the fucking... I don't want to be in the fucking server. I hate Yugi. Oh, Omega. I hate Omega so fucking much. Okay, there we go. What? Huh? Why would you need to join the server? To log on. Because it logs in through their shit for some reason, and it needs to be on the server for some reason. What are you talking about? Genesis. Oh, I have the OCG Wolf Riot in here. I hate... I didn't have... Why are they different? Why are they different? What about you? What is going on with you that makes me not able to play you? 99 points? Why can't I play this? It's 99 points. There's no OCG cards in here either. What is going on? What is going on? What? This is bizarre. What is the issue? I'm just gonna... We're gonna remove Mudora and then put Mudora back. Are we happy now? No. What are we unhappy about? What the fuck is your fucking problem? Fuck it, we'll run... Wait! That's what the issue is. We weren't selecting... Oh my god. Okay. Let's run the Gen Knight branded deck. I've played the Radiant Typhoon Speedroid deck a lot. You know, we went to Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega because the time to find a match was so fucking long in Dueling Nexus. And here we are. Waiting. Oh, you know what? There we go. That's better.
Everyone,
Mousewife, thank you for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Oh, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're playing a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! We got Genesis. We're trying to get a fucking rank match of Genesis. Holy shit, we can't get anyone to play. Hope you're having a nice day. Happy anniversary. Thank you. 5 years. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Hope you're doing well. How was your stream? Let's see, what were you doing? About an Elf. I don't know that one. Is no one playing Genesis format? Is cute, weird visual novel? Hell yeah. That's a good combination of words. I like that a lot. Nobody's playing Genesis format. What is going on? What the fuck? Huh. Well, fuck it then. I guess we'll try. We could try Dueling Nexus again. I don't have that deck on here. I can import it real quick. There we go. All right, let's get into the queue here. Queue it up. Hey, game found. Gemonite. Hello. Wait, MN. So it'd be right here. Oh, but nobody's actually here. It's one of those fake out ones where they don't actually have anyone for us to duel. I know it's Tuesday evening, but it's after usual work hours. Why isn't anyone playing Genesis format? It's a fun format. Often. It's not always bad. Nobody's playing Genesis format anywhere. Dude, I'm not going to Dueling Book. Oh, thank fucking Christ. Got him. Okay, this is a hand. It does things. Maybe I shouldn't have started with that. Oh well. Let's go Albion. Get the one from deck. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have started with that. That's okay. We'll go ahead and... Oh. Okay. They're on the Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis. They might be on Jurak Fire King in that case. Okay. They're going to set a Dogmatica. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. Dogmatica Punishment. Sure. What do I do here? We could summon a Luber, but I don't know that the Luber actually does anything for us. I'm gonna summon Ecclesia. Go Ecclesia. Ecclesia just gets Albaz? Really? thought we had another target. I mean, we'll do that. We will go ahead and do it. Fuck it, we'll get Bastard Dragon. Yeah. Just grab Ecclesia for no reason. If you want a Dogmatica punishment, any of these cards, I don't care. Legitimately, none of these cards are a good Dogmatica punishment. Yeah, that's fucking right. That's the fucking end board. Okay, it's not actually the end board. Ecclesia comes back. Okay, they're waiting for that. Sure. Pack bit goes off. That's annoying. That comes back. And then Albion gets us. Probably do Branded in red. Alright, they've got 3 cards in hand. We've got a Negate, and we got a Branded in red that can make Mirror Jade. Seems pretty alright to me. Oh. I didn't even notice the Regenesis card. Royal Archfiend. This gets them the Regenesis Archfiend? Yep. Dark Spirit Mastery? What? I don't know this tech. Level 8 Fiend Monster. Oh, funny. Do I negate that or do I wait? What are they getting off of that? I think I'm fine because they've already got the Archfiend. They're getting Lava Golem. What? Okay, yeah, sure. That's annoying because we can't get Mirror Jade now. But we definitely have to save the Herald for the Regenesis card, right? Like, there's no way we don't save it for that. Okay. Returns a card to hand. Could get them back Lava Golem. Alright, Ecclesia to hand. Titaniclad. I don't think I'm gonna do Brandon in red. I think we'll just wait on that. Quem's here. Send the Retribution. Huh. Okay, yeah, Lava Golem. We'll take the 1,000. Not a problem. Keldo is interesting. Target a level 8. Shuffle both of these cards and this card and into the deck. Wait, one card on the field. Right, okay. Let's see here. Trying to decide what we want to do here. We could make Lulu a Lilith? Hold up. I kind of don't hate that, actually. Fuck it. I'm making Lulu a Lilith. They were thinking there. I'm going to put back Albion. I think I'm going to return the face down. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. Birth? Okay. Grab Albaz. Fusion. You know what we're making. Everyone's favorite. Mirror Jade. I'm going to go ahead and Mirror Jade. Send the Albion. They're gonna bounce. That is okay. That is like really okay. Okay. Wait. Is she not able to summon from... I thought she was able to summon from grave. Fuck. She is not able to summon from grave. We're just gonna go battle. Haha! Alright, Albion. Yeah, let's get Brandon in white. Add it to hand so it's safe. Oh, I should have set Brandon in red. Why didn't I set Brandon in red? Ah, silly me. Okay, Warrior comes back to hand, but unless that second card is good, I don't know that they do anything from here. Oh, fuck. I did not read Overlord. Am I dead? No. Toby has disconnected and will lose if they do not reconnect soon. I love Dueling Nexus. This has actually been a pretty good game. Okay, I think I was going to win it there anyways, because I was gonna, yeah, I have Brandon in right, Brandon in red. I was gonna make Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade's gonna fucking deal with the Overlord. Warrior is probably gonna deal with it and then go back to hand. But I have the Cartesia back to my hand now, so I could actually do things. And of course, Brandon in red allow me to do stuff as well. We probably just win it out from there. Cool game, cool game. We actually managed to get a good match of Genesis format. Yay! Is there anything on YouTube we could be watching? I didn't mean to open it as a private tab. Okay, here we go. Let's play. Let's play. Let's go. Okay, we do have plays here. Keldo's a really funny one here. We send the construct. We add Fallen of White Dragon. And then we have Keldo engrave. Isn't that funny? Alright, Fallen. Sending Albion. Summon Fallen. Fallen effect. Grab the Ecclesia. And then we'll make Girly. We make Girly Pop. Girly Pop effect. Cartesia. It's like a pretty low to the ground end board, but like it's still an end board, right? All right. Close up there. Bring back Ecclesia. Bring back Ecclesia. And then go Albion. Albion's going to set branded in red. Void the Mekk Knight columns, just in case. Raid Raptor. Fascinating. Okay. All right. Here comes Fuzzy. Pain. What is Pain Lanius? Can Pain Lanius change its level? Yeah, it does. It changes to level 4. Okay. There's 2 level 4s. So it's a slow, like, you know, kind of thing. We could go right now for Albaz and get... Yeah, I think I will, actually. So we go Ecclesia here. Get old school Albaz. Albaz effect. Discard the Ecclesia that we can get back easily. And then we'll make Mirror Jade using Albaz and the Force Strix. Thus declining them the ability to use their search. And then we get Mirror Jade on field. They're going to get to do the Fuzzy Lanius, but we're going to have a banish up for when they go into another one. And we can hopefully cut them off what they're trying to do. Raider's Knight. Yeah, I will absolutely get rid of that. You got it. And the main? All right. Okay. I think we just win here. We should. I mean, you just have to go... Yeah. Sorry. Raid Raptor can't handle the 2 interrupts without the Link Monster. I feel like the Link Monster would have helped out there, but without the Link Monster, I don't know what you're doing after 2 interrupts, for sure. This deck is fun. I like this deck a lot. I love the Wildbaz stuff. I think the Wildbaz stuff is so cool. It's not super crazy powerful. It's really good, but I feel like it's a reasonable power level for it to be at. And it turns off Branded Fusion, which is like super powerful. I think it's really interesting that it does. It's cool. It's cool. Do we want another, or do we want to try and find a YouTube video? I don't want to watch Farfa's, like, okay, I know last time we watched the Farfa video, I was like, Farfa's not, dumb, right? Farfa's chat, however, very dumb. I do not want to watch Farfa's chat discuss anything. Watching Farfa's chat do a debate would be absolute misery, I think. Is this like a... I don't know what this would be. I've been seeing this video. Do we want to react to this video? I don't know CarPG at all. I don't know if they're good or not, but I think MetaZoo is fascinating. We looked at MetaZoo on Thursday with Golden Nova here. We were making fun of it. Do we want to watch this video? I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place because it's my fucking VTuber anniversary. I want to have fun.
180 and 180.
Today we have world famous DJ Steve Aoki, along with his co-founder in MetaZoo, Mike Waddell.
I looked into cryptids on occasion. I like the sense of adventure that comes with them. I like that. I think a lot of people gravitated to that, but then Rudy got a box.
So that's 360. That's 500. That's a tax loss.
Episode 119 of
Should I open it or should I keep it sealed?
Hi there. I just sent an email about an unfulfilled pledge. I never actually received anything from backing this. Now I notice you are giving away a Kickstarter box as a prize, but I still haven't received my pledge. I haven't received anything. I have now been banned from their Discord for seemingly no reason. What I suspect has happened is, since the original Kickstarter box is now worth $5,000, they have no intention of ever sending it. Well,
what the
I guess
fuck?
that I'm never going to receive the items from my pledge.
What the fuck, dude? I didn't know about that. I know a lot about MetaZoo thanks to Gage's wonderful video about it. I didn't know about that one. Holy shit.
So yeah, I bought a lot of MetaZoo. But how could I not? 5 booster boxes at $32, they're practically giving it away. Because they are, essentially. And call me the fool because you are looking at one of the original 255 backers of the first MetaZoo Kickstarter project. You remember MetaZoo, right?
Dude, I can't believe this shit got funded.
If you've ever been curious about the unknown creatures of our world, Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, MetaZoo promised
I don't know, it has a
to
certain
explore the
charm to
wild
it,
world
but,
of cryptids, animals, or other beings whose existence isn't proven. It took very clear inspiration from Pokemon, featuring Sugimori-esque watercolor art on its cards, chiptune Game Boy...
Sugimori-esque, I guess, is doing a lot of... The esque there is doing so much work.
inspired audio and promotional works, and full Pokédex-like lists of all its beasties, as the monsters were called. Launched in the throes of the COVID-19 pandemic, it looked like a cute little creature collector with fun art that could scratch the itch for several hobby-starved gremlins cooped up in their apartments. Again, I was an original backer, so this is not me throwing shade.
Oh shit, pre-roll ads are on? Time to run an ad break. Alright, see you in a second. We'll finish this video after that. Right, I forgot that my thing is broken. I'll try and fix that as well. See you in a sec.
Attention, attention. Our planet may be doomed. The monsters are in revolt. Mighty Godzilla is laying waste to New York. Rodan is attacking Moscow. Manda is smashing London. And Mothra runs wild in Peking. Nations of the world, let our war cry be, destroy all monsters. Destroy all monsters in color from American International is rated G.
All right, I got everything fixed up again now. See, my thing
I'll
works.
tell you, Tim, this guy should be beaten to death with baseball bats.
It works. All right, let's watch this video.
I was one of those gremlins too. And there is a reason why MetaZoo inspired me to back it, as was brought to my attention from a comment I got on the first edition of this video. Thank you sincerely for reminding me to include this point. MetaZoo was special.
Was it?
They appeared at the right moment of time, the inflection point of trading card games big and small. And in a market saturated by large IPs, to stand out and gain traction with an original idea is a huge feat. The brilliance of MetaZoo was finding
What was that? It was made for investors by investors.
a concept that already has mass recognition and appeal, but doesn't require expensive IP. Cryptids were the perfect vessel for this, as elusive real-life creatures that may or may not exist have captured the cultural zeitgeist in storytelling for as long as humans have been able to tell stories. I mean, look at this guy.
How's that?
Don't you want him? I don't want to discount the genius of the idea at all, but it is this sky-high potential that made the eventual downward spiral so dispiriting. One of the original components that drew people in was the main gimmick, the thing that put the meta in MetaZoo. Your card effects would be influenced by your real-world surroundings. That is not a joke. This could be as simple as being close to a body of water.
Unfortunately, it is not a joke, actually.
Or even if you break out a good cry, you might find yourself with an effect bonus. Obviously, there are immediate issues that come up due to this sort of effects rulings for competitive play, such as what exactly constitutes crying? Do you need to be bellowing a river of tears? Or if your eyes well up and get a little shiny, does that count? But for a kitchen table game, the mechanic was certainly unique. This past year,
For a kitchen table game, you would never cry to get an effect to go off. Like,
I fell back in love with trading card games, and I thought I would do a little check-in on that little Kickstarter that could and see what happened to it, and oh my. So despite still maintaining a small collection of my cards from the initial Kickstarter, I bought some more. And I thought it would be fun to crack a few packs on camera while we delve into the history of the now defunct card game, because I have access to a resource that only 254 other people in the world have: the original Kickstarter page, full of blog posts from founder Michael Waddell that detail the process of delivering a Kickstarter product. I also want to clarify something ahead of time. I'm critical in this video, yes, but only with the clarity of hindsight. I have no doubt that starting and running a company comes with its own set of perils, and you can't prepare for every eventuality. If anything, I want to frame this as a cautionary tale so that game designers in the future can keep in mind some of the valuable lessons about who you partner with, how you present yourself, and what your priorities should be when starting a game company. This is not a video saying MetaZoo was evil from the start, but rather, how do we learn from its mistakes, especially those that you can commit very early. If you're interested in TCG content of all kinds, go ahead and support this channel's sponsor, me. I'm the sponsor. Subscribe so that I don't have to make videos next to where we hang the laundry. We'll start.
he's a pretty slick video editor, I gotta say that.
Kickstarter launched on July 30th, 2020 with a backing goal of $10,000.
Never heard of this guy before. Doesn't seem to have a huge subscriber count despite this video actually popping off quite a bit. Look at that, 109k views on a 4k channel. That's crazy.
Of the project funded. Ordinarily a red flag for Kickstarters, but maybe a glimpse into a different time. These days, if your Kickstarter isn't fully backed by your first day, you're looking at an uphill battle to get it backed at all.
That's true.
But at least Jesse was excited. Day 2 saw a 10% creep closer to the goal, and the team posted some infographics of the theme decks. Oh, if you're wondering what the tiers were, prepare to have your mind blown. This crap was cheap, at least I personally feel relative to the Kickstarters of today. For $5, you got a blister pack, nothing special. I will not, thank you. For $20, you got the Spellbook, MetaZoo's equivalent to Pokemon's Elite Trainer Box or Magic's Bundle. Products that normally retail for $50 and up. $35 netted you all 5 of the first theme decks.
That's a cool card. I like that one.
Which is quite a
God, there are
variety
actually
of
some
theme
good cards in
decks,
here.
mind
I
you.
don't
Now
like
we
the
get to
monsters
my
look, the way the monsters look at all.
$40,
But I do
one
like some of the,
entire
like,
booster box of cards. and I regret
auras, I guess is what they're called. Just like the cards that aren't featuring a character.
The full package got you
that are ones that are more
the
ambient.
aforementioned products for $95. You could buy a case of 6 booster boxes for $275, or you could become a supreme wizard and buy tons of everything.
Supreme Wizard, huh? I don't like that phrasing, if I'm being real. I don't like that phrasing.
Man, am I really glad
Grand Wizard of the,
of
the MetaZoo clan?
Now you're probably wondering why I regret my very reasonably priced pledge of $40. Well, I didn't sell my box. I opened my box like a normal person. I should have bought 6. We're going to get into all the financials later, but for now, MetaZoo was at 50% backing on day 3 and showing off the field of play. And it's definitely a field of play. While the rules to the card game were posted on the original Kickstarter page, there was no video or demonstration of actual gameplay.
That's
the video
crazy.
that I showed you at the start of this video with all of the
How do you back a project when you don't know how it plays? What the fuck? Why would you do that? Why would you not show people how it plays?
And the concept art was what they used to sell the product, but no video showing off the game. So when commenters questioned why the field of play had zones for your hand is called your chapter, by the way, which is a whole other thing. Michael at MetaZoo
I love games that require like oh, we have to be special, we have to make our own thing.
Boy, would I like to see some gameplay. On August 3rd, they showed off the full list of colorful cryptids you could expect to find in your booster packs. Fun! On August 6th, we were at 75% completion, and Garrison can't restrain himself. They also showed off the desired holographic patterns, and true to form, they took inspiration from the cracked ice pattern used lovingly by Pokemon. Updates continued to include new art, which captured the attention of many.
That holo looks like shit, I'm sorry.
Enthusiasm was nothing compared to Ward, and yes, Ward, I agree, the Frogman is very cute. On August 9th, a declaration of official funding was announced. And now we can introduce our stretch goal. And we've smashed through our first stretch goal. With momentum
editing mistake, you can hear the pop of the audio there.
Some of the first sample cards they'd be sending to their loyal backers. I was genuinely really excited to get mine. I had requested I get the Jersey Devil, my all-time favorite cryptid, and instead I got a brain, which I stopped complaining about once I saw how much they were going for. And that's a recent listing in current year 2026. If we go back in time, right after the MetaZoo hype exploded after I received my sample cards, I was able to sell my holographic copy for $800. And that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
I didn't back this project to make a profit. I didn't want
Let's
to
go!
sell the cards. But when you're a poor aspiring actor living in Los Angeles and you're staring at an easy $800,
yeah, I just don't think it looked good on that particular monster. I think that kind of holofill can work. I think it needs to be on the background more than the monster itself, though.
What if you have a family? You know, you decided, okay, I'll
I think
start
Pokemon
off
calls it a
nice
reverse
little
holo
hobby, but that
or something.
$800
I don't know.
can
I don't
go to my
remember what the
child.
reverse
And
holo
it's
is
this
actually.
hype machine that viewed MetaZoo as an investment piece and not an actual game to be played that led to
Well, it's because the game to be played was influenced by fucking real-world mechanics. There was no game to actually be played.
Then there's no community there who's going to be supporting your game in the future. So MetaZoo decided to get as many cards into the hands of players as possible by offering merch. A lot of merch. A business decision they continued in the future by releasing sponsored merch at breakneck speed. Zachary comes to the rescue yet again and insists that showing off gameplay was the key to success. Michael promises he
They still haven't showed you how you play the game and they're making t-shirts. They still haven't shown you how you play the game and they're making t-shirts and stickers.
He's working on it. MetaZoo's partnered with a loot box company. But in the next update, there was finally some insight given by the company on their ideas surrounding competitive play. They addressed the obvious difficulties that including fourth wall breaking effects brings to a competitive
Ooh, that's a nice
format,
one. I like
where
that.
The outcome of the game might be
See, that's what I want
influenced
that
more by
star thing to be
factors
on.
beyond your control. They decided to mitigate some of those difficulties by including Terra cards that bring landscapes to you. So playing a River Terra allows you to activate any card effects that want you near a river. It's another card type in a deck that already
Again, the
includes what's
auras
essentially
and the Terras
Magic's
look
land
quite
resource
nice.
System, so not
And they're basically
great
just full art
banana
lands.
screw,
Yeah, exactly.
But don't worry, Michael's got a suggestion for competitive play. Maybe just don't use the fourth wall effects. You know, the entire gimmick that makes the game unique. The next update sees Michael wax poetic about the affordability of card games and his hardline stance against manufacturer price gouging. And he does bring up some good points, pointing out that Wizards of the Coast's price hikes on product make the game extremely difficult to play at any reasonable cost. He vows never to set MetaZoo's prices
Yo,
in
MetaZoo, my
anticipation
first trading
of their
card
popularity
merchandising
on the
opportunity.
market. Justice for Ross and his withheld product. To clarify, I have no idea if Ross actually received his product or not. I don't know these people.
It's
and these
so
updates are
funny.
the only thing that we have to go off of. It's hard to know who's telling the truth in these scenarios, but Ross, if you're out there and you have a story to tell, hit me up, we're all ears. It would really be a shame if somebody had backed a project like this and then didn't receive anything at all.
I still can't believe
never received word
we're
from the
we're still at the
company.
point where we're
Even
only
if the
just now
company
discussing
said,
how do you
"Hey,
actually
we shipped you
competitively
a
play this
product, it
game.
must have gotten lost
We haven't
in
gotten the
transit,
full
and
video
over the
of
postal
how you
service,
play the
that would
game.
be a
We
better
have
response
merch.
than nothing. The next update had Michael talking about the need for transparency around
They made a John Henry card, dude. I feel pretty uncomfortable about a John Henry card. I gotta be real with you,
their
Chief.
product, not only divulging the number of Kickstarter products made, but disparaging artificial inflation of prices due to hype. All it takes is one YouTuber of influence.
John
to
Henry
say
was a real
product
man,
is
you know
worth
that,
more
right?
Than it is for prices to skyrocket.
Like, you
Only
know he
to be
wasn't
sold by
mythological,
said
right?
YouTuber to novice collectors for too much money. Michael thinks this behavior is somewhat criminal and detrimental to the community at large. So what do you think happened?
Rudy of Alpha Investments, he like actively goes around. He does, you know, like drama pieces and hit pieces. He says, "Oh, this game is dead. Oh, this game is plummeting."
The Hello Kitty thing, the sales volume still remains.
I feel
very,
so
very
bad
weak.
for Kodak
A lot
in this
of,
situation.
actually, the emotional panic of the launch, mostly just because that TCG player.
Almost to the point where it feels like he's trying to manipulate the market when doing this.
What do you think the conversation would be like right now in the world of MetaZoo? How do you think people would view it differently? And I'm not really sure. Because going into this whole thing,
He was sent a promotional box similar to the one I was sent.
I love the pack opening rant video where you're just talking about something and then you pull a rare card, you gotta go, ah!
And that's when people started, you know, like buying up all the first
having a
editions and
serious
stuff and going,
discussion about the way that the owner of the company is screwing over the game. And then you pull a rare card, you go, whoa!
That's
Rudy, MetaZoo, are you going to be a part of it? What's going on?
After Rudy hyped up the product, the secondary market went gangbusters. And even though Rudy's speculation caused the
How'd they
huge
get Kuromi
artificial-
on there? It looks like we're not even going to get into it with how short this video is, but they did a fucking Hello Kitty crossover thing. They did a full Alpha Investment set where they fucking got Alpha Investments to sign on to having a bunch of him on a bunch of fucking cards.
bump in the market
Insane
that
shit.
MetaZoo was seemingly against, they turned him into a promo
Hero
card.
Girls VT, thank you for the
This
raid.
behavior is
Welcome,
somewhat
Raiders.
criminal and
Hope you had a good stream.
detrimental to the community
We're watching this video
at
about
large.
MetaZoo. We're watching this video here about MetaZoo. I'm getting close to done with
Of
it,
course,
but
MetaZoo managed to get the last
Hope you had a good
laugh
stream.
on even those who helped pump up their popularity. As after the company closed their doors in 2024, the secondary market crashed overnight, leaving people
still
with
feel
hundreds of
very
boxes
strange that John
holding
Henry
the
is a
bag.
card you
Promise
can
Joe, I'll
have.
show
That's
you
called a
what I'm stuck with,
beastie,
and I don't know
right?
if It's going to be a tax. It's probably going to be a...
Like, there's a card out there with John Henry, the steel driving man, a famous black labor like person from history who has like a mythological aspect to him, I suppose, who is in this card game labeled as a beastie. Don't like that.
tax loss.
Don't like that.
Probably $500,000 to $1 million total. Have no plans to ever cover MetaZoo again.
But we're not there yet. It's still 2020 and we need this thing funded. In the last 24 hours before the Kickstarter ends, a promotion was announced. If 225 people backed the project, all backers would get a car.
Look at that Terra. I think literally the only thing about this game that I'm like, oh, you know, there's actually something here is the Terras and the Auras. I think those look fucking good.
Cards signed by their favorite artist for free. A stretch goal that was met.
Look at
but not
that.
Delivered on. As COVID made the realities of getting the artists together to sign the cards impossible, apparently. Understandably, some were upset about this promise not being followed through, and hey, here's Ross again. Justice for my boy Ross. But sorry guys, no time for anything else because the Kickstarter is over and we did it! MetaZoo is fully funded with 255 backers and over $18,000 to print the original run of cards. Beta testing was announced to allow players to experience the card game and fine-tune the mechanics. I still haven't seen any actual gameplay. We all backed this game without...
Why would you back a game if you don't know how it plays? Why would you back a game if you don't know how it plays?
Seeing how it plays. Maybe we deserved this. Ooh, look at the shiny cardboard. I mean, it is good to have real product you can show your backers, so I'm not gonna knock it. Update 26 on September 16th, 2020, they announced the brand new website is up and running, and a few months later, the official blog is announced, where the majority of MetaZoo news can be found from here on out. This blog is now shut down, of course. At this point, many people were wondering where their cards were, as the original delivery date was expected to be sometime before winter 2020. But as February rolled along, MetaZoo realized not everyone had followed them to their blog, and they made an update on the Kickstarter page stating that delivery had been pushed to March due to Lunar New Year.
Oh wow, look at that flame aura.
Stuck in a Chinese...
It's like a fucking Rothko. That's awesome. Already did Jank Monarch, thank you for the follow.
Report somewhere. In fairness to them, these sorts
Getting
of
some use out of that Twitch
distribution
account.
issues affect companies big and small, and especially for first-timers, I really can't blame them for a delay, which isn't an uncommon occurrence for Kickstarter products. But they are really excited for their release events, and in order to prove it, included tons of pictures of all the promised product that backers didn't have yet. But after verifying with their customer base that all addresses remained the same, orders started to trickle in. Not that there was any update about it from the company on the Kickstarter page until 1 year later in 2022, with a cryptically written
Rothko's my guy. I love a good Rothko.
That went better than expected. Thank you, everyone.
I want to see them in person because there's nothing that will actually compare to seeing a giant work like that in person. If you see it on a computer screen, it's just not the same at all. I need to see these things in person.
It'll go down in history as one of the biggest tragedies of an IP with potential, where management just didn't listen to...
Have them the Portland Art Museum? Oh, fuck
so
yeah.
I'm just gonna let it go.
Good reason to go to Portland, I guess.
I received my box at around March or April of 2021, and I had a blast opening it and looking at the content.
I know some people from there because I went to...
Of course, I
was in college in Bozeman
when
when I went to undergrad.
That
so we got a lot of Portlanders coming over to Bozeman.
Any fun at all. I kept a good chunk of the cards for myself, but seeing as the game didn't look like it had any sustainability from a gameplay standpoint, and I was struggling to support myself at the time, it seemed foolish to keep a lot of...
See, like, that's the thing. People love to make fun of Rothkos, but that's because they don't see them in person. When you see them in person... I haven't seen the Rothkos, but I've seen other art like that was similar size at the Montreal Museum. It's so fucking different, especially like when it's some of those paintings that have like just tons and tons of paint on there, creates a texture that you can see. It just doesn't come through on film.
It's incredible stuff. When what I really needed was money. Off of my $40 Kickstarter pledge, after selling a few of the holos on eBay as well as my sample cards, I think I netted around $1,500 to $2,000.
Not bad.
Wow. Why am I telling you
Not bad.
this? Okay, this is not an endorsement to go seek out cards that you want to invest in. I just happened to get lucky at a particular time. That's what a lot of investing is, honestly. But I wasn't looking to invest. I was looking to support
We
a
take
project
those.
I thought was really fun. If you are a game designer, my best advice to you is make sure your game is really fun. Test your game and design it in a way
why
that
didn't I
it
think of
has
that?
sustainability for the players. If people have no desire to keep their cards even if they grow a little bit in value, then you're not going to have people who care enough to own the cards to play. Especially if you try to artificially pump up the market, then who is going to be there to play the cards anyway? So, how did MetaZoo bankrupt their own game? Aside from the episodes we've already mentioned, MetaZoo dove hard into the NFT
very
space,
little time to
aligning their
finish
brand
off
with
the story of
cryptocurrency
MetaZoo.
and blockchain. They pumped out merchandise like nobody's business, including
The skateboards,
items with zero
yeah!
relevance to cardboard at all. They treated their brand like it was supreme, not like a game. The proof to that is in the card design. Look at the rulebook. One common
I agree,
mistake games
Fairlord.
make is trying to get too cute with the vernacular. Nobody
Yes!
wants to bookmark a page from your spellbook and add it to your chapter. For all you lovely people at home,
If you make a game and you tell me you're going to bookmark a page from your library and put it in your chapter, fuck you. Fuck you. I fucking hate you. I am shaking you violently. It's a card. It's a card. It's not a page. It's a card.
I just asked you to draw a card from your deck and put it in your hand. The entire game is essentially
Yeah, JRPGs
how
do that
we
too.
rip off Magic the Gathering while using all of its mechanics without using any of its terminology, while adding many new mechanics to a game that's already confusing. By adding needless confusion to the terminology, you raise the barrier to entry for your game tremendously. Not to mention the type chart. Oh, the type chart. Each beastie has type strengths.
No, dude. They had fucking type charts too? Dog. Don't do type charts. You can't do type charts. You can't. Even Pokemon doesn't do type charts in their Pokemon TCG. In the TCG, it's just the one weakness. They have the one weakness. They maybe have a resistance. That's it. That is it. Not even the Pokemon TCG knows you can't do a fucking type chart for their TCG.
And weaknesses all displayed on this fun little chart and printed absolutely nowhere on the Kickstarter cards. How is anybody supposed to remember what card is weak to what? This was not a tested game, and it showed. And yet, despite all
the number one thing as a card game designer that you should always maintain, reading the card should explain the card. And you can make some exceptions. There's always going to be some amount of keywording, right? Even Yu-Gi-Oh has keywords, right? The graveyard. That's not necessarily perfectly explainable, but it's pretty common parlance for card games, right? Mainly because of Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering gets cute with their shit. They call the deck a library. But most people still understand that, right? Because Magic the Gathering's been established for so long. If you're not Magic the Gathering, don't get cute with the terminology. And for the love of God, do not make rules that are not on the card. do not make a type chart. Good Lord.
all of this, MetaZoo does still have a small number of die-hard collectors, swapping cardboard back and forth, all for the love of the game.
It got revived. Is this guy going to talk about the fact that apparently it got revived?
Not the love of the actual game, but for the shiny cardboard addiction. Again, not judging, I have the same problem. MetaZoo ended up being bought out by a new ownership group with experience running a trading card company. They've rebooted the brand, and time will tell if the IP will have any legs going forward.
Oh, fuck. The new cards actually look sick as hell. Now that is the fucking Kazuki Takahashi-like art. Whoa. Or not Kazuki Takahashi, sorry. Ken Sugimori. Fuck. Those actually look really good. That's incredible. I should remember which sci-fi author wrote an entire foreword in his book explaining why they're using mundane terms in their story that took place on the exoplanet. Is if I said Vlorgok squiggled down the Duksak to the bungalows or whatever, nobody will have any idea what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. No, these look fucking sick as hell. Look at that Plague Doctor. That looks incredible. Fuck. There's no way this gets me into MetaZoo. Although it kind of looks like they got rid of the fourth wall effects, right? I don't see any fourth wall effects on any of these. So maybe it's actually a playable game now.
And that is what happened to MetaZoo. I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun making it. And if you'd like to see
not as thorough a video as Gage's video. Gage's video is much better at actually describing why MetaZoo, like what the path that MetaZoo went down to failure. But Gage's video, I think you can only find it as an upload on the Progressi's channel, because he just streams. He doesn't really upload. This video was good though at getting us a view into the Kickstarter. I did not know a lot of that stuff that happened in the Kickstarter itself. So I think that was actually a good look. Oh, he has one on Altered as well? Fuck. I think the entire game has been redesigned. The only thing that remains is the name, cryptid theme, and some of the characters. Wow. You know what? That is exactly what I would do though. Like, I don't think the game itself is salvageable. That's true. Yeah. If they made everything kind of work like an Umi deck, the fourth wall effects could be there. I kind of want to watch the Altered one now. Oh, by the way, there's a new Kaiju in the Details. I didn't post about it on Blue Sky yet.
We noticed this in the card shop.
New Kaiju in the Details about the giant Gila monster. Go watch it after stream.
Crowdfunded game. The #1
yeah, I think that would be fun if you had a bunch of different Umis with different effects.
Wow. And that's enough. That does it.
This is like the first card game that I felt was.
This guy's pretty good at editing. This guy probably needs more subscribers. I don't know. I don't know if it's for me exactly. I feel like I could go into more detail.
That this is like the official end of the journey.
I think the last time we checked, the campaign's at around 500,000 euros.
His editing is good, at least.
They don't hit what they've said. I think it's about 2.5 mil by the end of this campaign. We're going to refund everyone and just call it quits.
A little bit of hope was always there, but hope always dies in the end.
I have a confession. I didn't back the crowdfunding campaign or pre-order any of Altered's next set.
Why would anybody feel bad for you or back this pile of trash? You made promises to your player base and had a wildly successful Kickstarter campaign only to fail and trip every step of the way. Many of us bought in under the vision you sold and were let down over and over again. I hope with every fiber of
Altered is a crazy one too. In unique individual cards, one-of-ones, with unique gameplay mechanics.
The whole campaign and just let Altered die.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Come on, it's a card game. I don't know. These people were screwed out of money though, like a little bit, because their thing they invested in went down, right? I understand being a little dramatic about it.
I altered it.
Stupid.
But let's throw away the joke for a second, because this is no laughing matter. It's a sad day when a game.
The thing I ever back at TC is physical only. Only one I ever backed was Shadow Era. I backed Alestral's Clash. I didn't back the original Alestral. I backed Alestral's Clash, which you know what happened to that.
And then trading those little pieces of cardboard to each other in a way that almost feels like you're putting a little bit of yourself out there into the world.
But you know, it felt like it should have been a sure thing at the time if only they hadn't gone with that terrible ass dog shit ass cardio.
The death of Altered TCG is one of those times. Even if they managed to crowdfund I'm sorry, how much?
Was this the weird TCG that functioned on NFT logic? Yeah. Non-fungible cards. It's every card has like a QR code that you can register to your account, and then you can trade them, and you trade that one individual card from the same account. It was like print to order, I think, or something like that. And they had like individual one-of-one cards as well. Ugh.
€1 million, and they couldn't put out a game? They just gave up? Do you know what I could do if I had €1 million? Hey babe, you wanna get DoorDash tonight? 1 million euros would sound
Okay, that was actually
if
pretty
we
good.
didn't already
I like
know
this
in
guy. Fuck it.
2024 they managed to
I'll
raise
give it a
over
subscribe.
6 million euros, becoming the most backed TCG on
It could use a little more research in some of these videos, a little more thoroughness, but like I understand not wanting to get in on all that, right?
Full of innovation and adored by those who played it. So how can a game with so much going for it just die?
Hi, I'm Régis Bonesse, founder of Equinox.
Yes.
Remember Simo talking about that at the wedding or something and thinking, wow, that sounds like a garbage idea. Yeah. No, I had a friend who was trying to get me in on it, and I was just like, I don't like the idea. I get that you like different aspects of it. Because like the thing about Altered, if I remember correctly, is it wasn't a battle game. You were like completing an adventure, and the first person to complete an adventure was the one who won. So you're kind of speed running against each other basically, and more so than doing like combat against each other. And they liked that aspect of it. I was like, but I just don't like the QR code shit.
And Reggie's and the entire team at Equinox was about to
I don't like the idea of unique one-of-one
card game not
cards.
focused on combat, creatures, or anything else we are accustomed to, but on exploration.
Yeah, here it is, exploration.
Around a
Yeah.
day-night system where each round was treated as if you had adventured out into the wild for a full day, attempting to win the game by meeting up with your adventure buddy. A nice change of pace for those looking for something new. An entire universe of lore was introduced where adventurers were able to conjure up figments of their imagination into the real world by using mana. A brand new world not built off major IP. Oh, players rejoiced. But there were 3 unique features that really sold the concept to players. The uniques.
If this is what sold you on Altered TCG, I am so sorry. You're a rube, a little bit of a rube.
You'll see what I mean in a minute.
I think the
A
exploration thing is
proprietary
actually really
digital
cool.
marketplace for
I
your
wish it happened with a better
collection and
TCG.
a print-on-demand system. So, what are uniques? I'm glad you asked. And to
That's a fun little effect. Unfortunately, it's very obvious because the lighting changed. You got to do it right then and there. You can't wait for the lighting to change. You got to do it immediately.
what are uniques?
Also, his arm goes out of the frame. You got to move a little bit to the side.
Let's look at a few iconic cards from the games everybody knows. Here's the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Level 8, light
That's the Blue Eyes White Dragon,
3000
baby.
attack and 2500
Yu-Gi-Oh!
defense. An iconic card. And there are approximately 4 million copies, give or take. And every
Fun joke.
copy of the Blue Eyes White Dragon does the exact same thing. But one day, you open a booster pack and get a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Same name, same art, but now it's dark instead of light. And that attack stat is now 2950. And this is the only copy of the Blue Eyes White Dragon in the world with this combination of stats and attributes.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
Congratulations, you've got yourself a unique card. This is the concept introduced by Altered, where certain cards from the base set had hundreds, if not thousands, of unique copies of the card that had stats and effects that were different, not only from the base.
Like, how do you balance a game around one-of-one cards with unique mechanics and stats? How do you balance that? Furthermore, how does a character maintain their identity when there are like so many different unique versions of them? Like, if there's like, let's say 100 different versions of Wingsuit Jumper, how does the Wingsuit Jumper retain any sort of identity as a character? The Blue Eyes White Dragon is a really unique dragon design that is unique. There's a bunch of other dragons that are like the Blue Eyes White Dragon, but the Blue Eyes White Dragon is the Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is the Greensmith made real. It literally is. Look, it's like slightly different. Look. Also, that does sound really cool, RJ. It's like, that's the two things you got to worry about with this. How do you balance it? You can't. You can't balance it because now you're going to be like, this 1-of-1 card needs to be banned as opposed to every other version of this one card because we actually accidentally overtuned it ever so slightly. And then 2, you can't create an identity for any of the characters that have this applied to them.
Base version, but from every other version of it as well. This blew my mind. And the process that they used to get this done is also mind-blowing.
Like, it would be like if every Blue Eyes White Dragon support was a 1-of-1 card. That was all called the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Instead of like, oh, this is Deep Eyes, this is Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, this is blah, 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 blah. They're all just the one card with the same name.
Literally generated algorithms pumping out hundreds of thousands of variants, which then needed to be...
Oh yeah, also they're procedurally generated. So you're not even balancing them as you make them. You're procedurally generating them. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
Down to hundreds of playable variants manually. There are 180 different base cards in the first set. If even half of them got 5,000 different unique versions for players to open, you start to understand why the budget needed for this game was so high. That's a lot of work.
Now MetaZoo's not looking so foolish. Well, you know, he didn't talk about all the NFT shit that MetaZoo was doing. Look, Altered was doing physical NFTs basically, but MetaZoo was doing actual NFTs.
With a card that literally nobody had ever seen before. A true 1-of-1, a true unique.
Feel like none of the game creators ever asked themselves, is this gimmick fun to play with? Literally.
The digital
marketplace. Yeah, fucking. They got Steve Aoki, one of the big NFT guys, in on it, and they just started doing NFTs.
Just scan the card. You can add that card to your digital collection through Altered's companion app. That card is now yours, so make sure you don't open these packs on.
So the difference is that Altered was not an actual NFT project. It just has a similar philosophy to NFTs with this QR codes thing, whereas Elestrals as part of, or not Elestrals, not Elestrals, MetaZoo as part of its brand sold NFTs. What is the actual point of this gimmick? What do players get out of it? It helps you keep track of your 1-of-1 cards and what you have in your collection the same way it's like the blockchain.
A live stream where your viewers can scan and steal your cards.
Except not as environmentally taxing as the blockchain.
Decks to play with online, bling out your cards with foil treatment.
Yeah, no, this one isn't an actual blockchain game.
Somebody else.
Hopefully not a fraud. I don't think it'll be a prophetic Freudian slip. I don't think Elestrals will ever do NFTs. It seems like they're pretty opposed to that kind of stuff currently. They have a no AI rule in the Discord server. You know.
Image of a card, but not the real thing. Isn't that just an NFT? Not quite, David. Since you own the physical card in real life, this really is just a fungible token that is represented by what you see on screen. But then how do players get access to these cards in real life? Do you have to sell both the digital and the physical version? I'm glad you asked. While you're supposed to send the physical card along with the digital, it wasn't your only option. This is where the third highly anticipated feature came in.
Right, yeah.
On demand.
So here's the weird thing about Altered is the print on demand stuff. So you can sell the digital card and then they can print on demand the card from the digital card.
Card in your digital collection that you had purchased or scanned in, if you wanted the physical copy
That's true,
more
Zuchi.
physical copies of it, you have it printed and shipped to you directly by the company. Each card would cost roughly $1 to ship, with the prices coming down for larger orders, but if you're printing a card worth $40, it's a small price to pay for the convenience. Not to mention pulling one copy of a card and being able to print the other copies that you need for your playset instead of buying them is not a bad price.
And so this does mean that once you have a 1-of-1 card, you can print on demand the other copies of the card. Yeah, that is true, RJ. The Illustrals community is basically just MBT's community. A bunch of MBT's community.
The concept of a game company tolerating what's essentially proxy culture is one thing, but to see a company that actively facilitates it, it sounds like
Well, are they proxies or are they official cards, right? And
the most player-friendly thing ever. So there you have it. 3 features.
I don't know, the print-on-demand system is not a bad idea. The digital ownership is a bad idea, but the print-on-demand system, I think, is actually really fucking cool.
Itself from any other game on the market. And did the players notice? Oh, you bet they did. This game truly was a labor of love by the creative team at Equinox, one that card players recognized as such. So how in the world did they manage to fumble a bag this big? What happened? Let's do our own post-mortem today and examine what might have gone wrong. Full disclosure, it's important to note that Altered's discontinuation is incredibly recent and a lot of the public sentiment is just that.
Feeling when you trade cards with someone and forget to trade their digital counterparts. True.
Public opinion. I'm sure there were things happening behind the scenes.
Supported a game that later switched to Gen AI concept art and assets 80% through development. Now the online servers are going down because the provider is repurposing their servers for AI. I can't think of more fitting death. God damn, that's brutal.
In the company that we simply just aren't privy to yet. This is not a video meant to hate on the company itself or the people who work in it.
I like this guy's background music. Is he just getting them from the YouTube library?
The journey of Altered and try and see the things that might have gone wrong. But before we do that, if you enjoy this kind of content, you can help me by supporting this channel.
I wonder where he's getting them from.
I don't have one. So screw it. Let's give it up for Vince Kai-chan, who has generously given me permission to use his music for my channel.
There we go.
He makes some bangers. So if you like what you hear, you can purchase his music on Bandcamp through the link in my bio.
I should start doing this. I should start doing fake ad segments where I just promote things I like. That's actually a good idea.
And for all my Altered fans and players out there, if you think that there are pieces of the story that require additional context, or if you would like to share your personal experience with the game, please let us know in the comments.
What if I did a fake ad segment for
and subscribe to
an old movie I like?
That would help.
Fake ad segment for a Psychic Vision John Gun Ray.
That wasn't what I wanted, but let's try that again. Yeah.
Stupid.
This was no grassroots campaign, of course. Equinox had partnered with Asmodee for distribution and Gamegenic for the manufacturing of
This is kind of an interesting format too. The opening pack, while on the side there's like a video essay happening. It's the fucking it's the fucking Subway Surfers of video essays.
Products. This was long before the Kickstarter campaign even started. Asmodee was well known as one of the largest game distributors in France, with IPs such as Star Wars and Catan under their umbrella. Gamegenic, also owned by Asmodee, is one of the more robust card
I do like an
game
art card. I think
makers
more
with
games should
products
have
like
art
the popular
cards.
Tolarian Community College Professor's Academic Deck Box. This game was not a small player in the market, and with grand backing and financial investment comes grand plans. EU backers started to get their products shipped to them in July 2024, as was expected, when the first set was released at retail on September 13th, 2024, as well as Season 1 of Organized Play. Something
I've also got to say one thing. The QR code on the card looks so fucking ugly. But you have to put it on the front of the card, because if you put the QR code on the back of the card, theoretically, someone could memorize what the QR codes look like. What's this? It's a video about Altered TCG, a card game that is dead now.
All those promised innovations with the digital marketplace, the print-on-demand service, those were nowhere to be found. Players were wondering where those cool features that were instrumental to them backing the game were. Simply put, they weren't ready. But you know what was ready? Set 2! As teasers came out for the next set, and upon its eventual release, players felt underwhelmed. They lamented the smaller set size, and the uniques didn't feel as exciting as they did in set 1. In music, there's
It's YouTube on Twitch, true, with commentary. That makes it unique content.
And only 2 years to make your second. That's often why people feel the sophomore album sometimes feels a little underbaked. Trial by Frost hit the scene as Altered's first expansion at the end of January 2025, and print on demand and the marketplace were coming along with it to a closed 2-day beta. Altered was hoping to release a second beta for the services sometime in mid-February and released an update apologizing that they had to delay it further. Still, Altered gave their reasons for the delay, and
does
while
have pretty
they brought
art.
up some very
It's a shame that there's a
good points,
QR code ruining
handling money
for
in the
me.
marketplace, your system needs to be bulletproof, fans weren't having it. It simply seemed like the company bit off more than they could chew in terms of what they could deliver. I do think players who had bought into a game that had been announced and released by a company on their own would be more patient with unreleased features. But considering these features had been promised to be delivered on release to the players who had backed it, meaning the players had really invested their own money into bringing this game to reality, they were getting antsy. Nothing for them to do in the meantime, but announce their third expansion set. They do finally announce the open beta of their marketplace and print on demand, open to everybody, as long as you're in one of these specific countries. Those of you who backed the game from a different country, well, just wait. And while the company had
Imagine having support in different countries, looking at Alestrals nervously. QR code makes it look like they're digital vouchers more than trading cards. That's literally what the vibe it has.
finally begun to deliver on the promise of some of these highly touted features, for some it was just too little too late. So many of the game's features, such as receiving foil cards or receiving versions of cards that had been errated, were tied to the print-on-demand service, which was supposed to be an elegant solution to many problems that players had. Its initial delay, as well as a lack of support for countries outside
White
of North
balancing is
America
hard,
and
I
Europe,
gotta say.
was an interest killer. A lot happened in the months to follow, from the release
Ooh,
of
you got a
fourth
window
set
right
to
there
some
in your
very
recording setup.
controversial takes on uniques. The way the uniques played out, some of those auto-generated cards were simply much stronger than other cards people could get normally, making their value shoot up into the hundreds of dollars. Remember, there was only one of every copy.
Oh, they have to cover up the QR code. They have to cover up the QR code in the picture so you can't steal it. Just print it on demand. That's so funny. Now with the destruction of this card, nobody could beat me. That's not true, Kaiba. I've scanned your QR code and I printed on demand 3 more Blue Eyes White Dragons.
Became essentially mandatory inclusions in your deck.
Hi, Haru. Thank you, Haru.
Championship. But some
No
players
right click,
claimed
no
that they
save.
completely took over the local scene as well, leading to some frustration amongst players
How you doing,
who
Haru?
disliked the pay-to-win element, as well as the fact that you couldn't prepare to face a card you've never seen before. The big
Literally, you
first
cannot.
update.
That's another thing. This is a format that is impossible to prepare for. This is a game where it is impossible to understand what the meta is and have any understanding of what you should be prepared for at all. I kind of don't hate that aspect of it, though, if I'm being real. I kind of, like, it would be really annoying to be a person who relies on winning tournaments, like, for, like, prize money, right? But I don't give a shit about prize money in tournaments anyways. I kind of like the idea of a game where you don't know what the fuck is happening as far as the meta goes ever. Legit Duelist Kingdom card game. It is! It is! It's the Duelist Kingdom card game. Finally, we have it!
The one that changed the direction of the game forever came out on September 11th, as Equinox announced that they had left their distributor Asmodee in favor of crowdfunding future sets themselves on the Kickstarter-esque website GameFound. No.
This is a big mistake. And Mystery Science Theater 3000 also made this mistake. Never leave the big Kickstarter platforms. Never. Never. Never do that. What day? Huh?
Future sets themselves on the Kickstarter-esque website
What do you mean by what day? I don't.
Found. No more going the traditional route of selling your game to distributors who then sell to game stores. They were going to sell directly to you, the customer. And they need 2.5 million euros from you for
2.5 million.
For every set for the foreseeable.
Wait, what? They decided to do their thing on 9/11? September 11th, 2025.
To their distributor Asmodee in favor of
okay.
future sets.
This is a sequel we've been waiting for.
Kickstarter-esque website.
But yeah, again, never move from the main. Do not, if you are getting good results on Kickstarter or on Indiegogo, do not move from there. Do not move from there. Just stay on Kickstarter. I know Kickstarter takes a percentage. I know that sometimes there are websites that crop up that are better suited for your type of thing. If you are already successful on a Kickstarter website, stay there. MST3K did this exact same mistake. Do not.
Game found. No more going the traditional route of selling your game to distributors who then
it is a mistake.
It
is a fool's errand.
Directly to you, the customer. And they need 2.5 million euros from you for every set for the foreseeable future.
For every set? For every set? They keep doing all these deeply meme-worthy things that appear to be 100% earnest. Really, it really is every mistake you could possibly make as a small Kickstarter or as a card game, I guess. Jesus Christ.
The crowdfund was initially announced with a backing goal of 50,000 euros, a very reasonable target that.
Why in the world do they think that would work?
Smoothly until the dreaded update number 10, a desperate plea from the company. This update has actually been.
So you remember how I said that print on demand is kind of cool? The problem with print on demand. The problem with print on demand is that it's very expensive to run. It's a lot of effort and work and labor and cost. There's so much cost to run a print on demand. Do you know there's a little thing that you could do instead of that works basically the same as print on demand. It works about as well as print on demand does. It's called a living card game, which is a trademark term of Fantasy Flight games, but you can call it whatever the fuck you want. Just give people playsets of the cards in the set. Just make it one set that gives them playsets of the cards, then you don't have to worry about artificial scarcity. It does the same thing you want, but better, more efficient, it's cheaper.
Altered, but the original was saved on Wayback Machine and sourced by YouTuber Billy Quick, who I'm going to recommend to anyone watching who wants more in-depth details on Altered as the game unfolds.
LCGs are the greatest distribution system in capitalism history. It literally is.
The one that players assumed
the only ethical TCG distribution system under capitalism. And even then, it's not particularly ethical because, you know, of course, there's the labor involved.
When we will announce that we
but you know,
2.5 million euros. Or we'll kill your game. And we'll need this amount of money.
If we don't make the 2.5 million, the game dies. If we ever miss our Kickstarter goal, the game fucking dies.
For the next set, too. For the foreseeable future. Why did we misrepresent the true number? Because it's common practice to, and it makes the targets feel more achievable to those who haven't invested their money yet.
Unfortunately, that is actually true.
And while they
put the money in the Kickstarter, the game gets it.
The targets aren't met. They technically don't have to. They've hit their stated backing goal, so they could opt.
This is like the one Stephen King book.
The money. Now I'm no lawyer.
Oh yeah,
slew of class action
right?
lawsuits, and this would
the tower. I think it's like the tower.
Regardless, if you're a local game store and this sort of shenanigan is pulled on you,
I think it's like Misery.
Really
That's what I'm feeling right now.
Your money into something where the game may die and you might not get your money back? Is that a risk?
It's like Maximum Overdrive.
Floor problems arose
If your
from this
TCG ever falls behind those
with
funds,
the
they immediately
establishment
shoot it
of
in the
a pure
head.
crowdfunding model, the few game stores that remained invested in Altered felt blindsided. In the Set 5 campaign,
The
for some
Kickstarter is
players,
the
it was
child of
often cheaper
Omelas.
to purchase directly from Equinox than it was to order from their local game store. This completely disincentivizes players from buying the game from anyone but Equinox.
That's true. I didn't even think about that fact. This is like the the most local game store phobic card game of all time. This card game fucking hates local game stores. Holy shit.
A message that Equinox had initially told stores would not be the case. At least not initially, always gotta read that fine print. What incentive do local game stores have to
crazy.
carry Altered if the game is going to actively disincentivize players to buy from their local game store?
This was a problem with Alestrals too, where Alestrals had like special store promos that you could only get on the Alestrals website and special deals that you could only get on the Alestrals website, which it completely disincentivized buying Alestrals at your actual local game store. Only buy it at the fucking website, right? I don't know why people keep doing this. You have to stop.
There's no money there. And if no stores are hosting Altered events, then what incentive is there for players to pick up the game? Maybe this was a way for Equinox to sort of save the game with a quick infusion of much needed cash, but in the long run, it just sort of seemed like they were shooting themselves in the foot. If you're thinking that 2.5 million shouldn't be that difficult to reach because the original Kickstarter reached 6 million euros, remember—
That's not the case at all. That is just not how Kickstarters work.
that was a different time. That crowdfunding effort was to get the game off the ground. Players expect a huge initial investment. But now to expect players who feel lied to expect disinterested store owners to fork up 2.5 million euros every 3 months for every single new set going forward? Predictably, the commenters obliterated the post. Lots of anger and lots of feelings. Reggie from Equinox, to his credit, did engage with the disappointed crowd and tried to offer his apologies and explanations in the comments. Personally, I always get the sense the team really did care about the product and just became overwhelmed with the scope of it all.
I just think they were very dumb,
however,
that's
are
all.
hard to pacify, and it's hard to blame them. But despite this, Equinox did manage to scrape together enough cash to keep the game afloat for Set 5. Be that as it may, there was a pervasive feeling of doom in the air, and players felt like the game's days were numbered.
Wait, do the cards have
What I really
QR
wanted
codes on the
was to hear
back
from players in
too?
the local
What?
scene and see what they
There's
thought
no
about
way.
the game itself and their experience playing it, despite all that's happened. So I hit up my local game store here in Leipzig, Germany, City Comics, and met some really nice guys. Marcos.
Your locals is in Germany? Must have moved there. That's not a German accent.
Okay, first things first, I think key selling point for me was my physical collection, able to play online on Board Game Arena. I am a really big board gamer, and I think the straight visuals—
Luckily for
the
him, every German
track
speaks English.
Against the opponent kind of feels like a board game.
Very much A-Drive. True believers have no business managing TCG logistics. Literally. I'm so glad that Ridiculous Hat is involved in Alestrals now, because I think Ridiculous Hat is the only person there who knows what they're doing.
I think main problem for me, and
Even
I
if
think
half
it's
the money
kinda
went to
sad say
external
this,
costs like
but
fees, rent, and outsourcing, it still leaves
the game without the
$192K per
uniques,
employee per year on
I'm not
average.
the only one saying
Fuck.
this, but the game without the uniques would be perfectly fine. There were problems since the beginning, and to be honest, they are the main problem till the end.
I think the problem with the uniques is like, in the end they got the hang of it, but they could not fix the problems they made in the beginning. They were still there because all
Again,
the
every
uniques from
German
the
speaks
beginning
English. This is
were
just the
still
truth.
valid and could be played. And they tried to fight the symptom, but the root cause was still there. But they just couldn't fix the initial problems with the uniques, and this was like always a dangling hammer over the game.
The sets we are playing
Sort of Damocles, you might
today,
say.
or the set released last week or last 2 weeks was already problematic for being released because the campaign didn't achieve that much or the amount of money that it should. So the discussion or the fear that we
again, just like Metazoo, a perfectly fine game played by its central gimmick. Literally, you have to stop making gimmicks that you have to think through your gimmicks. Illustrals is so fucking lucky that their central gimmick is actually interesting. I think it has its limitations, which is why they had to slow down the pace of play. But the central gimmick of Illustrals is like actually fun to play around with. The central gimmick of these games, Metazoo and Altered, it just dooms it, right?
Play the game.
That's fair, Zucchi. That's fair.
And the news that the next upcoming expansion, Set 6, do not come is anticipated, I guess, or yeah. So
I think digital first might be the way of the future for card games.
Figured out a way to enjoy the game, I guess. We play this now every week until we stop.
Exactly, Yura.
I really like Altered, and I'm really sad.
And like Illustral's central gimmick is like a gameplay mechanism, whereas the central gimmick of Altered is a fucking investment gimmick, I guess. And the central gimmick of Metazoo is, I guess, a gameplay mechanic, but it's kind of just stupid.
It's like the official end of the journey, but like Marcus already said, not for us. We still play until we're dead, until the bitter end. A little bit of hope was always there, but hope always dies in the end.
Average German.
You heard it here. They even gave me a demonstration on how seamless the revolutionary features of the game, like the scanning system, really were.
Scan cards.
Thank you for censoring that. I do appreciate a YouTuber who actually cares about that kind of shit. I will say it's really good at its central mechanic. It's really good at scanning those cards.
Oh my god, it's fact, so fast. It's
like I don't know if you've ever tried the TCG player scanning it. By the way, the TCG player, just as a usual reminder, TCG player, terrible place, horrible working thing, union busters, terrible. Right. Anyways, I don't know if you've ever used the TCG player app. They have a card scanner, but obviously they don't have QR codes. So what they have instead is it just scans the card's face and tries to recognize it. It's so bad. I've also used QR scanners on my phone. They are not this crazy fast. The fact that this app is so good at scanning these QR codes is fucking insane to me, actually.
Whoops, and all cards in your collection.
Amazing.
The main running gag is playing sealed or draft, and someone pulls a crazy card, and then
yeah, there is an app. It's not very good.
Take a picture, okay? It's mine. It's mine.
I was using it to try and keep track of my collection, but it was just so tedious.
That's quite an expensive card for this game, I guess. Above 10 euros. No. 15, up to 20. Make money. Oh, sorry, I swear.
What struck me about this group of players was that anger or sadness wasn't the focus, but instead it was on how much joy the game brought them. A real community had formed here.
Yeah, from everyone I've heard who actually played the game, they liked the gameplay. They don't like the uniques. And of course, everything else that happened after that.
To come together and enjoy something with passion. One of the players told me how it's a great game to bond with his kids over. And most importantly, even though the game might be ending in terms of support,
man, every time I see a locals, it makes me be like, I want to run my own locals someday. I don't actually. There's a part of me that wants to, but it's like I know
Altered
misery
was a
lurks there.
Ground for innovation in card design and enjoyment in gameplay, and the last thing we want to do in this space is discourage innovation. Unfortunately, the real world is a tough place, and it's time that we cover the end of the line for Altered. Equinox came out swinging with Altered's 6th set, launching the GameFound campaign with an upfront disclaimer that 50k is not the target goal. They merely need 2 million euros to keep the game going. Hey, that's 500k less. Maybe we can get there. From a creative standpoint, the set looked good, and they were doing everything they could think of to entice players to buy in. A larger set with tons of
one of the many occupations I fantasize having after the revolution. True! Literally true.
The woolliest back you've ever seen.
I want to work at a museum, dog.
No need to purchase
I just want to work in a museum.
God packs, just like Pokemon.
Somebody will hire me someday.
Anymore. New heroes and corrupted old favorites.
And then what happens to all of you people who watch my streams? I don't know. There'll still be one stream a week at least.
People still haven't received their order from the last set.
Ooh.
Pledge tiers on old
Oopsie.
product. Pledge tiers on new product. Pledge tiers on big product. Pledge tiers on small product. 25 euros for one booster pack. Angry French haters, which I translated to English so I know how mad they are. Box toppers and new add-ons. You get to vote for the playmats.
It seems like Altered was way more popular in Europe than it was here, right? Am I crazy about that? I feel like I've not seen much people talk about it here in America, but in Europe, there's so many people who were talking about it.
Trying everything they could, throwing it all to the wall.
Right way to run if locals are financially secure through other means and just do it for fun. Literally, the only Yu-Gi-Oh locals around me is just like a guy who runs a shop like 3 days a week just to have a place for people to play. It's crazy. From a French studio, that's it. Yeah, okay.
The campaign, they acknowledged what everyone was already thinking. After losing the trust and support of their customers, even with
I need a soundbite for angry French haters.
Enjoyed the game, it just wasn't enough. On March 18th,
Yo, CarPG, if you want to collab with me,
2 days
let's fucking do it.
The campaign was due to end. Equinox made.
I like your vibe.
They needed 2 million euros to keep this train moving. After combining pre-orders from individuals and game stores alike,
I saw you from across the YouTube, and I like your vibe.
Altered was dead. There's been a lot of speculation amongst the player base as to what the final nail in the coffin was. Our players we met in the store felt that Uniques as a concept simply broke the game. Others online speculated on a myriad of topics. Players debating whether Asmodee didn't do enough as the initial distributor, choosing to support other
That's a pretty good card. I like that card.
Star Wars Unlimited.
Drowsy Dodo.
Game
it's good.
Store owners argued that Asmodee did all they could and it was Equinox's mismanagement that was to blame. Or was it simply the difficulty of managing the selling of singles for game stores, dealing with both digital and physical copies? Many thought that if you let down a promise from the start by delaying promised features, you'll never recover. Whatever the ultimate reason for Altered's cancellation, it's not going down without a fight. Not if the players can help it anyway. There's already
Oh shit, are the players doing a netrunner? Fuck, are the Altered players doing a netrunner to it?
Grassroots efforts being made to try and preserve what can be preserved in an effort to keep the project going as a fan-led initiative.
Yes!
I really hope they succeed, because this game brings them so much joy. And
Let's
joy
fucking
is
go!
what we need right now.
I love when a project gets netrunnered.
And that's what happened to Altered TCG. Thank you very much for watching.
See, I think the most powerful thing
in the future. There are so many card games throughout.
The most powerful thing a card game can have is fans who are dedicated enough to keep it running when it dies. As all things will do. As the German man said, hope eventually dies. That's really fucking cool. I hope that the people who are reviving it are... I assume you're taking out the Uniques. There's like no way the Uniques survive the netrunnerization process. I look forward to seeing what Altered looks like when it's taken over by the fans. I hope they create a little organization like Netrunner did. I think that's the best way to handle that kind of thing. Non-profit org. God willing and the creek don't rise. If they do get like a full thing going for it, I do want to play with you, RJ. I will absolutely play with you. I will try out Altered. I will finally listen to my friend who was telling me to get into Altered and play Altered after its death. His death and rebirth. Yes, that's awesome. I love when a card game dies. and then becomes a project run by fans. Probably the best way to interact with Altered. Really, really. Ah, man. That it's like this video is like kind of like making fun of Altered the whole time, but really that ending really filled me with joy. I think that's awesome. I love decentralized card games. They're so fucking awesome.
History that have maybe
demarketized.
Had a good run, maybe not. So if you'd like to see a particular game, let me know in the comments below. And again, if you have first-hand experience with Altered the game and you'd like to chime in with additional context, please do so below. Or maybe you feel like something wasn't wholly represented and you'd like to correct something for the record. I'm open to that as well. All right, I'm gonna go drink some water. Drink your water. Water's
Okay.
good for you.
I will do.
Stay hydrated, my homies.
Cool. Oh, I thought it was going to be Altered is dead, long live Altered. I guess I'll hydrate again. Because Spice 8 Rack did that exact joke for Netrunner in the Fortnitification of Magic the Gathering video he did, or it did. Spice had a thing of Netrunner is dead, long live Netrunner. Fuck. That's really cool though, that Altered is becoming a fan run project now. I hope that Equinox doesn't like sue them or anything. Hope always dies in the end. Is that dude okay? Oh. I wonder if there's a way to make QR codes look like they belong on a card. I doubt it, but like maybe you can make a QR code that looks good, right? I feel like that'd be the only way. All right, I'm going to quickly do an ad break, and we'll be right back. See you in a sec. Okay, that was actually a trick to get you to watch one more ad for my ad revenue. Ha 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 ha. I'm gonna go leave now. It's dinner time. Apparently dinner was ready 20 minutes ago. Oopsie. So yeah, I'm gonna be heading out. Yeah, you can't be mad at me because it's my VTuber anniversary. So you're just giving me a little extra cash, a little couple extra cents. All right, I'll see you guys. Do you want to watch A Drive's Why Kickstarter TCGs Fails a follow-up? What? What? Huh? Okay, I'm not watching it right now. I'm pulling it up right the fuck now. Is it on his main channel or is it on the... There's no way it's on the Alestral's channel. There's no fucking way it's on the Alestral's goddamn channel. The Nobby channel. Oh, right. He has a separate... I forgot he has a separate channel for his Alestral's posting that isn't the official Alestral's channel.
In just
31,
the last 2 years.
31 minutes. We are going to watch this next time. Okay? We're not watching it right now. We're going to watch this next time. Okay. We'll watch it next time. 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 I've got to go. I've got to go. I'm so sorry. I have to go. We'll watch this next time. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Happy 5 fucking years of goddamn VTubing. Too many times, actually. Too many years, I would say. I should have been out of this business already. No, I'm kidding. I'm not leaving. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate all of you and the support you've given me over the years. Exclamation point socials and chat. If you want to support me, all the other places has all the links right there. You can go find them. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to send you somewhere else now. Tell them I sent you. Huh. You know what? We haven't rated Hardleg in a while. Hardleg's probably doing some ladder climb, I assume. DDDs? Is DDDs a ladder climb? Ugh. All right. We're going to raid over to Hardleg. Have a great time over there. See you in a bit. Yeah, when you get over there, be kind and courteous is all I ask of you. With that said, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.